I tried to avoid making this video because I knew it wasn't gonna be the last of these kind of videos. But I was just like, why not just do it to get my 2 cents on the topic? But I really tried to avoid making this video because I was just like, take it with a grain of salt. And I know if I made one video, it wasn't gonna be the last of it. You know what I mean? And quite frankly, I don't think it's going to be the last of this kind of video here today. So YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with another video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the burning topic. The burning question that everybody wants to know. Can the Washington Redskins get Jalen Ramsey? So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case, our Washington Redskins. So, how this thing all got started, man. I really think it's silly. You know what I mean? I really think it's silly. But how this thing got started or whatever is because Twitter fingers, of course, you know, Twitter fingers. And a reporter, I forget his name, but a reporter, he said that Dwayne Haskins is like a Colts quarterback that had a gambling problem, and now he is serving 10 years in federal prison. So he's basically comparing Dwayne Haskins to a Colts quarterback that's a bust. You know what I mean? And then another reporter stepped in and said, your takes are getting worse by the day. And another reporter came in, that same reporter that said your takes are getting worse by the day, said Dwayne Haskins will be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And he said it's crazy how people are giving up on Dwayne Haskins after one season. That's exactly what he said. Exactly what he said. And then after that tweet, Jalen Ramsey, he saw the tweet and he said #facts. He said #facts, and then under that, he said he can't wait for Dwayne Haskins to do big things in the NFL. He says block out the noise, and I can't wait to see you ball. Obviously, that's not verbatim. I had to paraphrase, but that was the basics of the tweet here today. So that's what kicked it off. That's where it kicked it off, and then a DC Sports page on Instagram made a Redskins edit of one Jalen Ramsey, and not to my surprise, I'm not gonna say I'm not surprised, but I'm not. Jalen Ramsey likes the picture. Jalen Ramsey likes the picture, and the reason why I say I'm not surprised is because things like this all happens all the time. You know what I mean? And this is why I'm taking it with a grain of salt. This is why I'm taking it with a grain of salt, because things like this happen all the time here in the NFL and just sports in general. Players see team swaps all the time and they like the picture. I mean, I'm not gonna say that doesn't mean something, but I mean it could definitely. But I'm just taking it with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? Because I mean I'm not gonna put my heart and effort into overthinking or just thinking about, oh, we can get Jalen Ramsey. We can get Jalen Ramsey, you know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna stress about it if it doesn't happen. I'm not gonna be like, oh man, we had him. I'm not gonna do that because I seen a picture of him in a Redskins edit. You know what I mean? So, like I'm saying, I would love to have one Jalen Ramsey. He's obviously the best cornerback in the NFL. He's 6'2", ran a 4.41 at the combine. And he's the best corner. He's a shutdown corner, and he really could be another piece to this great defense. Now, after he liked the picture, I tried to tie everything together. Now, it does kind of make sense. You know what I mean? He defends Dwayne Haskins, then he gives Dwayne Haskins some words of encouragement, and then a DC Sports page goes out his way to like a picture that had one Jalen Ramsey in a Redskins edit. So I'm not saying it's not far-fetched. I'm not saying it's not far-fetched, but I'm just taking it with a grain of salt. And can you blame me for doing that? No. So in 2021, this made things interesting for 2021. The Washington Redskins currently have $75 million in cap space, and that is with one Alex Smith contract. Now, if we get rid of Alex Smith contract, which is like 25 million, and 2021 is the first year where it will make sense for us to get rid of him, cut him, you know what I mean? So if we get rid of him 25 million, that's going to have the Washington Redskins at over $100 million in 2021. So the Washington Redskins are set to have a lot of money in 2021. And I really believe, me not being biased at all, I really believe that this Washington Redskins could add to 2 to 5 franchise star players next year, next offseason. Or should I say next free agency. And it's going to be great to see, because the Washington Redskins, all this pain and misery of being a Skins fan is finally going down the drain. Finally going down the drain. I'm 16 years old, almost 17 years old, and as long as I've been a Washington Redskins fan, it's been a dumpster fire. It's been misery. So now for the Washington Redskins to finally, you know, outside of the 2012 and 2015 season, obviously, but for the Washington Redskins to finally be trended in the right direction, and for us a year away from having at least $100 million in cap space to add some talent, it's just happy. It's just making me happy. It's just making me happy. And this year we had quite a bit of money too, but I think we were saving for the future. Hence why we signed all the 1-year deals. Because next year, Jalen Ramsey's a free agent. Keenan Allen's a free agent. Kenny Galladay's a free agent. I mean, it's just a lot next year, and I really believe that next year is the year. If this year is a going into the fire, next year is the year for sure, because we're gonna be signing at least 2 to 5 key players. And of course, after we pay Brandon Sheriff his money, because we know Brandon Sheriff deserves his money. So after we pay Brandon Sheriff his $20 million a year, maybe we don't know how that contract's gonna go out. Maybe they'll get a deal done this off season. They have up until, I want to say, July 25th to get a deal done with one Brandon Sheriff. So if he get a deal done this off season, that's only gonna help us into 2021. But if not, it's still okay. So we can get him his deal come next year, and he deserves it. He's probably the only player on this team that really, outside of one Trent Wade, deserves that contract. So get him his $20 million a year, and then that inserts Jalen Ramsey, baby. And we still gonna have a buttload of money after we pay them 2 players. Mark my words. But back to Jalen Ramsey. I don't find it as a surprise that the Washington Redskins believe that they can get Jalen Ramsey, because we have the money for it. Maybe he wants to be here because, I mean, he liked the picture of him in the Washington Redskins uniform, and he is defending one Dwayne Haskins. So, hey, bring him on. You know what I mean? I'm all for Jalen Ramsey. I'm all for Jalen Ramsey, the best cornerback in the league. Talk the talk, and he can walk the walk. Do you know how scary this defense would be? We're already scary with this front 7 of a unit. But normally when a team has a dominant front 7, their secondary is not that great. So the fact that we could have a chance to have this dominant front 7, have one Jalen Ramsey here on the Redskins next year, is just crazy. You know what I mean? So like, it's just the vision in my head is just crazy. I can just see it now. And who wouldn't want to come play for this new regime of the Washington Redskins? Now, if it was Jay Gruden, Bruce Allen, and old Dan Snyder, then I could see why teams didn't want to play for the Washington Redskins. Because I remember I read this article, right? I read this article in the NFLPA, Players Association, if you don't know what that is. They literally made, like, in the article, they said, don't play for the Washington Redskins. Don't play for the Washington Redskins, because they know if a player was to go to the Washington Redskins, or just a bad team in general, such as the Bengals, Redskins, Dolphins, whatever, last year before their franchise started to change, they knew the player that went to that team wasn't going to be happy there. Case in point, Jacksonville, even to this day, Players Association tell players not to go to Jacksonville. Because the ownership is just horrible. Oh, it's just horrible. You know, they're handing out fines if you're late or something like that. It's just a whole lot of going on, you know, that the Jaguars treat their players bad. Why do you think Calais wanted to get out of there? Why do you think Jalen Ramsey wanted to get out of there? This whole topic about this video was about Jalen Ramsey. So why do you think Jalen wanted to get out of there? You know what I mean? So that's just a case in point where I tell you that teams don't like players. That players don't want to play for bad teams. Obviously, that should be obvious. So now that we have a new regime here in Washington, I'm not surprised that Jalen Ramsey wants to play for the Washington Redskins if this is true. Now, like I said, I'm taking it with a grain of salt. He could have just been liking pictures on Instagram because, I mean, he can do that. He's human, you know what I mean? So, I'm just going to take it with a lighter grain of salt. But if it is something tied to it, am I surprised? No, not one bit. The Washington Redskins is set to have over $100 million in cap space this offseason, so we can bring in the likes of a Jalen Ramsey, a Kenny Golladay, Malik Hooker. You know what I mean? The Colts might not bring him back. We have a lot to play with this offseason, and I just can't wait for next year's free agency because we should be not making some noise. We should have a lot of money to the point where we can pull teams away from their team. And what I mean by that, we can pull players away from their team is a team like, let's say a player is on their team for the whole career, right? 8 years into their career, they never left that sort of franchise. But their pocket's tight. You know what I mean? The ownership, or should I say the organization's pocket is tight, and the player wants to get paid. Insert the Washington Redskins next year. We have all this money, so we can pull them away from the franchise, no matter how loyal they are to that franchise. You know what I mean? You get what I'm trying to say here? We don't matter how loyal they are to this franchise. We could pull them away next year. Okay, let me give you an example. Not saying Von Miller does need a new contract, but we're gonna use Von Miller for an example. Von Miller been loyal to the Broncos country for some years, almost a decade, if not a decade. He wants a new contract this year. Just say he wants a new contract. The Broncos say no, our pockets is tight. You know what I mean? We don't have enough money to pay you what you're looking for. Insert the Washington Redskins. We can pull him away. You see what I'm trying to say here? Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen because we don't need a Von Miller, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be a Bronco for the rest of his career. But you see what I'm saying here? How we can pull players away from their organization next year? It's going to be fun to watch, and I can't wait. But once again, Jalen Ramsey likes a picture on Instagram of him being in a Washington Redskins uniform, and I had to give you my opinion. Now, I didn't want to make this video. I didn't want to make this video because I know it's not going to be the last of this video. Even during the season and, of course, in the offseason next year, Jalen Ramsey is going to be the topic of discussion here in D.C. It's going to be here in D.C. And I'm not trying to set myself up like I did this year for putting my heart all into one player and then us not get him because we were being too stubborn and not to spend money. You know what I mean? So, as always, it's been your boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Hell to the Redskins. Turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case, our Washington Redskins. Once again, I'm all for Jalen Ramsey. Bring him on, baby. Pay him $20 million a year if you have to. You know what I mean? Pay him that Bradbury money. That money that the dumb Giants paid that Bradbury dude $15 million per year. Terry's about to cook him for $15 million per year. Pay him $20 million per year if you got to. As always, main boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe, hell to the Redskins. What do you think about this? Should the Washington Redskins get Jalen Ramsey? Of course they should. So I should see nothing but yeses down below. As always, main boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe, hell to the Redskins. Turn on post notifications. Subscribe. I'm out. Peace.